This video and ones like it are made possible by my supporters on Patreon. If you want to have a say in what games and topics are covered on this channel, head over to patreon.com/Tugi24 and get involved. You can also head over to my Teespring store to buy shirts that you'll never wear in public. Link in the description. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Championship Sunday. We started off this 8-team tournament just 2 days ago, and now we're down to the final 2. But before we get into that, I mentioned, of course, we made a created team for every single team taking part in this tournament. You guys mentioned that you wanted to see, like, hey, what do they look like? What's the jersey? What's the arena setup? So I figured, why not? Again, we didn't go into too much detail, especially, too, when setting up uniforms and stuff like that. It's like, oh, how'd you decide what uniform they get? It's preset 1. The font, it's font number 1. The pants and the socks, it's font number 1. And then you just autofill the colors from there. So again, it's nothing too crazy. But of course, now that we're down to our final 2, we might get to see these 2 teams in action. But of course, 6 teams have already fallen to the wayside. I do like the way Fredericton looks with the MSG type ceiling there. I mean, it's if the Undertaker from WWE had a hockey team, basically, at least like the 1990s version of him. God, the Fresno forts, and of course, too, color-wise, we really just decided to kind of randomize to what people get. I gave the first the golden, the yellow color scheme. So from there, it's like, all right, just keep going over what's the next in line, and that's how everyone ended up with their colors as well. Some of these jerseys end up looking pretty good. Some of them, not so much. Some of the arenas, same way. I would probably put more work into differentiating the logos a little bit, but at the same time, it is what it is. Shout out to St. John, though. They ended up with the dark blue, as you'd hope. Almost get like Winnipeg vibes from their particular setup, but yeah, good for St. John. Again, if you fix some of the things about that jersey, it might not be completely hideous. And then, of course, there'll be somebody who in the comments be like, man, those jerseys look sick. And I'll be like, if you say so. Certainly subjective. Lord knows, as a jersey collector, I have my own kind of takes on what jerseys I like and which ones I don't. Shout out to this arena, which looks pretty damn cool. Big fan of those. Big fan of the lighter shades of blue. As that was the San Antonio 7s, we get to the San Jose 2nds. Just picked random city names, by the way, too. Nothing too crazy, but solid arena for the 2nds. Obviously, you kind of get like Philly vibes to that. Creamsicle seats, for whatever reason. Maybe more Syracuse orange vibes. This was one of the jerseys where I was like, okay, that's just hideous, but we absolutely have to keep it. And then the final 2, of course, the Tampa Bay Thirds, who fell back in round 1. Still very, very surprised at that, given the talents that they had on this team. But yeah, there you go. Looking good, feeling good for the Tampa Bay Thirds. And of course, last but not least, were the Utica UDFAs, which, let's be honest, we had to go with the green anyway for the UDFAs because show them the money. But it's funny what template they ended up with. Shout out to my boy X-Tech because I'm getting Storm Bear vibes with these particular jerseys. But there you go, a full look at what this happens to look like. With the dust settled and everything in line, we get to the finals. We are down to 2, the 2 best that we had entering the tournament. And surprise, surprise, here they are. The former first rounders take on the former second rounders. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. One last look before we get going with this series at how these 2 teams have looked so far. We will look at the former first rounders, Stamkos, Draisaitl, McDavid, who is their leading scorer. Fantastic numbers so far. How about that, though? David Pastrnak, no goals on 22 shots so far. Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby, both without goals so far. It's been rather surprising, if you ask me. Defensively, Cale Makar leading the way. Every single defender with a goal, with the exception of Quinn Hughes. And then we kind of know the story so far. 8-2, despite the fact that Andrei Vasilevsky only has a .900 save percentage. Genuinely, it's because it feels like he hasn't faced that many shots. In total now, 230 compared to what the seconds have faced, 253 for Leonard, and he's played one less game, but he has been ungodly for the seconds. Defensively, speaking of ungodly, Roman Josi, save some points for the rest of them, Roman. Oh my God. There's nobody else even getting really that much at this point. 2 points between, Subban and Falk respectively, at least per player. And then forward-wise, Kucherov has obviously been absolutely unbelievable for the seconds. Every single player on this team picking up a point. Just Stastny and Neal in terms of the forwards without a goal so far. As we talked about, the first rounders certainly expected to win this tournament, likely to face the seconds. That is indeed what has happened. But now that the series is here, who is going to get the win? Let's find out. It is game 1, first period, and a 2-1 lead for the seconds. Draisaitl started off the scoring on the power play, but then it is Keith and Kyrou to battle back, even though the firsts doubled them up in shots. Second period, goal apiece. Mikko Rantanen tied it, only for Tyler Bertuzzi to restore the lead for the seconds. Still getting heavily outshot. As we go to the third period, Alex DeBrincat makes it 4-2. We have seen this in the first 2 rounds. The former firsts love to start off a series slow. Now, Rantanen does score on the power play from a horrific angle. They have another power play here. Can they score? Extended power play, no less, but they don't take advantage. Will the ones fall short in game 1 yet again? Yes, they will. The former second rounders take it 4-3 in regulation. Alex DeBrincat's goal holds up as the winner. So a big first game there. All 3 of the former first rounders' losses have been game 1s, and they have not lost from there. Let's see if the 2s can break that streak. First period here of game 2, and there you go, 1-0, and Alex Ovechkin has arrived. Scary moment for the 2s, 14 shots to 5, and they trail by 1. Second period, no goals, now 30 shots to 11. Ovi's lone tally, the difference maker as we start the third period. Power play for the 1s, they fail. Power play for the 2s was abbreviated. Power play for the 1s, nothing doing. 9 minutes to go. And still Ovi's goal holding up as the difference maker. Is that going to be the only goal of the game? My goodness, it is. 41 shots to 19. Robin Leonard stopped 40 of 41. All Vasi needed was 19 saves for the shutout. There you go. Those are the only 3 players that mattered in that series. And so far, the streak continues. We are tied at 1 apiece. Roman Josi leading the way in scoring in this tournament. Let's go to game number 3. Very, very intrigued with this, to say the least. First period, 1-0 for the 1s. Evgeny Malkin, 10 shots. They're actually outshot that period, but they do get the goal. Second period, Malkin again, and Mikko Rantanen, who's been superb for the former first rounders. The seconds are in a boatload of trouble here. The series is now tied at 1 apiece. They're down 3-0 in the third period of game 3 on home ice, no less. It's not looking too pretty for the 1s, or for the 2s at this stage, as the 1s are just putting the stranglehold on here in terms of shots, and that will do it. It is another shutout for Andrei Vasilevsky, this time 25 saves worth, as Malkin puts up 2 more goals, and the 1s are 2 wins away from being crowned champions. What an insane kind of routine they've settled into in this tournament. As we go to game 4, must win for the 2s. First period, goalless. Shots were pretty close as well. Second period, the 1s strike first. It's Connor McDavid. We go to the third. The second rounders need to win this game. They fail on the power play. The 1s do the same. Can they find the goal that will get them back into it. That is the question. 6 minutes to go. They're on the power play. They fail. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and that is it. A third straight shutout for Andrei Vasilevskiy. And the ones, again, come from a Game 1 victory to a 3-1 lead. And can they make it 3 out of 3, where they make it 4 in a row? Vasi now up to a .916 save percentage. He's 11-3-0 with 4 shutouts. Outrageous. And will this do it? The ones are on home ice. Can they get the job done here? First period, goalless. Shots close. Tell me if you've heard that before. Second period, 3-1 in favor of the first. Carlson, Marner, and Hedman. Kucherov gets the seconds on the board, finally breaking that shutout streak of Andrei Vasilevskiy. But we go to the third with the twos in a serious situation. But Kucherov, he's not giving up. And Goligoski ties it. Of all people, Alex Goligoski. We are nearly halfway and now halfway through this third period. The ones have a power play. They can't take advantage. They have another power play with 3:25 to go. And because it's the championship round, yeah, we have to jump in and see what's going to happen here. We absolutely do. Computer versus computer game. Let's go. Let's do this, because if the ones score, this series is done. But if the twos score, we march on. Let's do this. Let's see how it goes. The weird crowd, cream jumpsuit, whiteout nonsense. It's super, super weird. Goligoski to Ryan O'Reilly. He's wearing number 5. God, the arena looks weird. This Draisaitl has to hold up. Hands off to Makar. Look at the speed on the ice for the ones. McDavid to Makar. Matthews to McDavid. It's like the under-23 dream team in the World Cup. 3 minutes to go. Next goal's likely to win it. Makar to McDavid. Now it's back for Draisaitl. Mikko Rantanen can't bull rush his way through. Justin Falk up for Rupe Hintz. What a discrepancy in talent level. Here's Ryan O'Reilly trying to weave his way through. Nowhere to go. Draisaitl loses it to Stastny, who sends one to the chest of Vasilevskiy. He makes the save. You see there, Connor McDavid with the 8 goals, shown atop the list. It is Draisaitl, McDavid, and Rantanen against DeBrincat, Aho, and Kucherov. Can McDavid win this draw? He cannot. Good win for Aho. Falk turns it over to Mikko Rantanen. He's in alone, and he's denied. What a save. A huge save there, as it looked like the ones had it. Here's DeBrincat over, and that shot blocked down. McKinnon in the corner against Aho. And a penalty is called. Aho's going to go for a hold. The ones to the power play. The fix is in. Preferential treatment confirmed. Here's Austin Matthews. Extra attacker is out. Matthews shot. Good save with the blocker by Leonard. But the ones will have a power play for nearly the rest of regulation. Tough break for Sebastian Aho. Can the ones end this here and now? Marner, McKinnon, and Stamkos. You got Bergeron and Bertuzzi, the forwards, for the seconds. 1 for 6 on the power play. Face-off won by McKinnon. One-timer. Hit his own man. Here's McKinnon around the back to Marner. Hedman shot. Glove save. Didn't even look like he knew he got a piece of it. McKinnon tries to shovel one home. And Leonard makes another stop. Top 10 in PIMS. Austin Matthews actually leading the way. A little bit surprising. Let's see what they can do. McKinnon needs another big face-off win here against Patrice Bergeron. He doesn't get it. And Philip Hronek nearly sends it over the glass. Goes all the way down. I'd love seeing the Stanley Cup final graphic on the ice. They really do need to bring that back. Feels weird, but of course, it's advertisement space now. Screw you. McKinnon the moves. McKinnon the shot. Another save. He got that with the paddle. Carlson for Stamkos. Another save. Robin Lehner is under siege. Like, it's an individual, personalized attack on Robin Lehner at this stage. The top unit's out. O'Reilly's out on the kill with Stastny now for the twos. And another big defensive zone draw win. What an option that is between Ryan O'Reilly and Patrice Bergeron to win you a defensive zone draw. Makar had a little bit of trouble there figuring things out. McDavid has it. 2 men in the attacking zone for the twos. Let's see if the ones can take advantage. Ranting it for Draisaitl. Can't pick the corner. Robin Lehner. Unbelievable stuff from Robin Lehner. Second unit back out. Bergeron against McDavid. And Bergeron's going to win it. Falk turns it over. Makar to McDavid. Loses it. Loose puck now in the corner. Chased down and cleared by Tyler Bertuzzi. As we hit 1 minute to play here in regulation of Game 5. Leon Draisaitl. Can't cut in. Loose puck. McDavid stopped by Lehner. Here's Rantanen. He's stopped as well. Robin Lehner. Have yourself a day, sir. This should not be a series. Not even close. It's the most human that Vasi's looked. That's the only reason why we're here. Duncan Keith clears the puck. Hedman will recover. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Mitch Marner. Marner up the ice. Tried to cut in. Loose puck. Stamkos kicked away. Stastny is able to clear. 10 seconds left on the man advantage. 22 in regulation. John Carlson back for Marner. Head of steam. Mitch Marner takes the hit. McKinnon has it. McKinnon denied. Can Marner get it? 8 seconds to go. Being pinned up against the boards. He sends it down low. Duncan Keith battling with McKinnon. The twos just trying to hold on. And they will. We are going to overtime. We are going to follow along with this for as long as is necessary. Draisaitl got clocked in the head. And how about that? Mikko Rantanen's breakaway that he could not score on. 40 shots to 27. Yet to overtime we go. You've heard of the whiteout in Winnipeg and Arizona for that matter. Have you heard of the cream-colored jumpsuit get-together that the ones bring to the playoffs? Connor McDavid has this. Rantanen can't get a clean shot off. The twos need to win this to force Game 6 back at home as Hedman strips Kucherov of the puck. It's basically an all-star game. Rantanen loses its shot. Lehner keeps it out. McDavid, Rantanen save. McDavid on the rebound. Who else would it be? Connor McDavid wins this tournament. They were the favorites, and rightfully so, as the former first-round picks get the job done and win this 8-team tournament. All 3 series. They lost game 1, but win the series in 5. Incredibly bizarre. You want to say unexpected, but again, they're the best team, the highest rated, former first rounders. Robin Lehner did everything he could in that series to keep his team alive. As we get to the handshakes, McKinnon leading the way, Vasi right behind him, PK Subban. Apparently it was Connor McDavid wearing the C. The captain gets it done. Stamkos and Stepan saying what's up. Look at Erik Karlsson, he's handsome. Justin Falk. Justin Falk is a really solid defenseman, man, but think about the talent that the firsts have. McDavid is the hero. He and Quinn Hughes celebrating. David Pasternak wearing the number 2. And the Conn Smythe is going to go to Leon Draisaitl. stat line never correct, but I'm very surprised it's not Roman Josi. Let's be honest. No disrespect to Dry. It should have been Roman Josi. Not even close. But Connor McDavid, he scored the goal to seal the deal, and he will be the one. Oh, Brent Burns in the top knot. Love to see it. Well, like a kind of a top knot, you know. Connor McDavid scored the clinching goal. Connor McDavid will be the one to raise the Stanley Cup. As, I mean, you can't be surprised. But at the same time, it looked like at points there might be a bit more competitiveness and controversy. The ones overcoming a deficit all 3 times. Brent Burns with the cup. A scene I don't know if we'll ever see IRL, but how beautiful would it be? It'd be the first Wookiee to ever win. Had to go with the old joke of Evgeny Malkin. Gonna get a skate with it. God, that's just the cream colored with the yellow aesthetic of the building. It's a little bit weird. Vasilevsky still in his Tampa gear. You'll love to see it, but again, they were the favorites for this particular run. We can't really be surprised at how this went down. But still, just what a way to do it. A super unorthodox way. As Andrei Vasilevsky will raise the cup as well. Tremendous work there. That's something we might be seeing for the 3rd time in a row, sooner rather than later. Oh my goodness. The team picture. Carey Price, you did it, buddy, as a backup, but you did it. Job done for the former first-round picks. That collection of talent, absolutely incredible. I saw Alex Ovechkin's silver hair poking out from behind someone's shoulder pad. Absolutely hilarious. We'll get one more look here. Again, how Roman Josi doesn't win top player, I have no idea. That is incredibly disrespectful. Draisaitl was tied for leading scorer with McDavid. Roman Josi, I mean, I know he's on the seconds, but man, you got to give it to Roman Josi. Let the man who loses get the trophy. Jagarrett, I don't care. You guys see the final numbers. You see the final result. The ones win this tournament. Job done. A big thank you to those of you one more time on my Patreon for sending along ideas like this. In particular, this one was brought about by an idea that was mentioned by one Risk It for the Biscuit. He had a different idea, but I thought, ooh, we can turn that into this. I had a lot of fun recording this. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun watching it. As always, again, we mentioned the Patreon. Check out everything in the description. My second channel for all my franchise mode content, the Tukey's Take podcast that you can watch in video form or listen to wherever podcasts can be found. A big thank you to my editor, Mr. Endo Mills, for making this look all pretty. I will see you guys in a while. Next week, who knows? I'll be back soon. But the first round picks get it done in the least surprising tournament result maybe in the history of sports. And that should do it, sir. Done and dusted. Thank you.